Alright friends, welcome back to Style Your Family Farms. Today is actually David's birthday, so happy birthday David. The girls and I love you very much. And I hope you enjoyed your shopping spree this morning at Tyson's to buy a fencer. So we got a solar powered fencer that we use out at the crop field this year in the winter. So fun stuff there. But this is going to take our afternoon. So I got a pot of water going so we can blanch them. I'm gonna get to shucking. David's outside cleaning the garage because he wants to be able to put the tractor in there again soon. And this corn was actually, someone stopped by yesterday and said they watched our channel and they grew a whole acre of sweet corn. And so they knew that we would love to have some sweet corn, which I did. And so we've got 2 big boxes. This is just one of them. So we already shared some with a friend and we've got a couple other folks who are going to take some too. But we are going to be putting up some sweet corn. And so while we were at Tyson's, oh now I gotta find it. See, Charlotte was playing with it earlier. We picked up some jars. So got those. I'll have to find it here in a little bit. But we got that like corn cob tool thing. I have no idea where it is. But we'll be using that. And I saw on Holler Homestead that they have a trick for using that with their drill. So we will recruit David later when we're ready to do that. But I'm gonna get to shucking some corn. So we made it through a whole box. Got that box empty. A big old pile of goodies for the pig. We have 1 pig left. And for our cows will love this. And then we've got this whole entire ginormous tray of corn. So now I'm gonna get to washing these. We've got this nearly up to a boil. I'll stick a lid on it, get it the rest of the way there, and we'll blanch them. Then cool them off in some cold water in the sink. And then we'll get to, I don't know what the proper term is, taking the corn kernels off of these cobs. Alright, so I've got this sink filling up with cold water. I'll actually fill both of them up and I'll stick them in one part of it first and kind of let them get a rapid cool. And then I'll stick them in the other side with the ice blocks. That way they don't warm up the water too much because we have a lot of them to process through this. So this is at a really good boil now. So I'm going to go ahead, take this off and start blanching them. Always want to be careful when you're doing this because you don't want to splash boiling water on anything. So remember, you're not trying to cook the corn, you're just blanching it. So don't worry if it comes down from a boil or anything like that. I am gonna poke these around just a little bit, just to make sure they're all kind of getting under the water. But they're looking pretty good. And this is a ginormous pot. We got 20 seconds left. And we're gonna go get Charlotte. What are you two doing? Hi, big girls. Look at you. You standing? Do you see your picture? Yeah. Do you see your picture? Go take. Thank you. Did you have a good snooze? Are you happy now? Are you a happy girl? There's a lot of corny stuff going on downstairs. So there's gonna be corn nuts and silk everywhere on the floor with you. Oh my goodness. He's used to sit down there. Go, jump, 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 jump.
Did we do my game? Okay.
Do it. A few. That. A few that. No, she's little.
Why? Is there a...
Alright, so I wanted to show you guys the corn cutter tool that we got. So it's this little thing. Really big shadow there. I'm gonna hold it up. So it's this tool right here, and so this part here is serrated, and it will cut the corn. And so what I saw somebody do is, so I think we'll like set this over the bowl, and then you can take a drill, put it on your corn cob, and then use the drill to spin it through there, rather than like having to sit there and like spin down the cob yourself. So, hi Charlotte. So we will give that a try. Do you want to use the drill, Shelby?
No, not yet. I need to find my ear curtains. It squeezes like that. It squeezes.
Okay.
I thought the yellow part.
Okay. Far enough down?
Maybe. You want like 2/3 of the kernel, I think.
I mean, it looks like corn.
Yeah.
Getting it out is the tough part. Watch out.
We're making some creamed corn over here, so just scraping all these guys with a butter knife. I heard a pop. So hopefully it's just a pan properly. Alright. So now usually I kind of turn this down to medium, and then in another minute or two I'll turn that burner down to low. That way it'll stay at 10 pounds of pressure and not go above it. So it says I'm still getting my pressure canning skills down, but it'll work. Okay, so now I have a big bowl of creamed corn. So now I need to look up a recipe as to what exactly it is I'm supposed to do with this. I glanced at one real quick and it said to like boil it down with some salt and stuff. But I'll also see if maybe I can just do a raw pack on it. So that way you don't have to worry about like the salt making the corn tough or anything like that. So that's what we'll try. But I'm pretty happy. That's a lot of corn we got off of all those cobs. That is one full stock pot. Alright, it's the next day now and we're gonna can the creamed corn, what I scraped off of the cobs last night. And so for that you have to add water to it. So it's 1 cup of water per 2 cups of the creamed corn. So I had 10 cups of creamed corn that I was able to get off of those cobs. So I added 5 cups of water, and that's coming to a simmer now in my big stock pot. And so I'm not sure exactly, I didn't do the math of how much will actually fill up these jars, but I know about 7 of them fit in the bottom of my pressure canner. And so I'm filling up these, I will fill these up, but I'm going to wash them and then we'll fill them up and put them in the pressure canner. And these take 85 minutes to pressure can. Once everything comes to pressure and all the things. So this one will take a bit longer, but that will give me time to get some stuff put away, cleaned up and all the things, and then we'll start processing the next part because we really need to do green beans too. Because we picked a whole box today and that was just at the cow garden, and then I've got all of that. So, and we're trying to, we love freezing our green beans, but the problem with that is now that we have so many animals and so much meat that we're putting in our freezer, I need more freezer space for the meat, so I can't put as much garden produce in the freezer. So starting to learn all the canning things. This is starting to come to a nice boil, So we are gonna pack those jars. And the next thing you're going to want to do is go through and poke either one of these type of tools or a butter knife or the back of a spoon down through your jars to get any air bubbles to come up. To check that on mine, these little tools are really handy. They have little numbers. You probably can't see that. But it has little numbers on it that tell you 1 inch, 3/4, half, and 1/4. So that is technically a little full, so I'm gonna have to take just a hair out of each of these. It looks like that one's about perfect. So yeah, these guys were a touch full. So now that is just about perfect on all these. So I'm being a little generous because I am still learning all of these things. I'm being a little generous with that 1 inch headspace on the conservative side because I'm still learning all of these things, and I've never actually canned cream corn before. But I always deal with siphoning, and I'm always very slow to release the pressure. But I wonder if maybe I'm just packing it a little too full and there's just too much stuff in there, because things do expand when you can them. So I don't know. But these overall from yesterday look pretty good. So, and everything sealed, but you can see like it's siphoned out and I don't have quite as much liquid in there. That's not enough. Like this one's a little bit more, but like they're still gonna be just fine on the shelf. So next we're gonna wash the rims and get these in the canner. So once this part starts to steam, once that little spout starts to steam, you're gonna let it steam for 10 minutes. So you'll wanna set your timer. And then after that, you'll put your weight on. So mine I've got right here, this little weight. You'll put your weight on that little spout, and then you don't start your processing time yet. Your little gauge here will pop up, so that means like it's sealed off, and then will begin to come to pressure. And for most things, especially with like the weighted and pressure gauge, pressure canner like I have, pretty much everything is processed at 10 pounds of pressure. So then your skill has to be built of keeping that dial around that 10 pounds of pressure, which can be hard to do when you're first figuring it out. There were many times I was like swinging between 10 and 15, but you don't want to go over 15, preferably.
Mine has a pit.
Yours has a pit?
Yeah.
Are you eating a plum?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine has a pit.
Oh goodness, it's got some seeds in it. There you go, now start eating on this side. You found the middle.
I found a pit.
So you put it in there, you let it come to a boil, you let that steam for 10 minutes, then you put your weight on, then you let the pressure to come up to 10 psi, depending on your altitude and all the things. Oh, and see, like that just went ahead and popped there, so now this should start steaming. And so once that goes, then you start your processing time. And the processing time for cream corn is 85 minutes for pints. So it's a long time. And then you have to then start the depressurization process, which takes a while too. So that's why pressure canning is not fast. It's a slow process. But it's really nice because you have really good shelf stable food for a long time. So it's worth it in the long run. Okay, so now it has been steaming here, and I'll show you guys. You can see on the plate that it's steaming for the last 10 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and put the weight on. I always like to just be safe and use a hot pad to set it on there. So now we'll just wait for our pressure to come up. It is nearly the end of the day here now. Shelby's in bed. Little Miss didn't want to go to bed. And so this is depressurized, and I've taken the canning weight off. So now I'm just gonna open the lid a little. So I like to leave it just like that for a little while. That way it can continue just to kind of acclimate to pressure and temperature and all the things to help prevent any siphoning, which, I don't know, typically I have problems with. So we are going to feed the animals and hopefully get this one to bed because it's already past 8 o'clock. Yeah. Alright, fingers crossed we had minimal siphoning. The water looks pretty clean, so maybe, I mean, you can see we definitely probably had a little bit of siphoning, but I feel like they look pretty good. So hopefully they won't siphon anymore, and it should be good. Oh goodness, I'm tired now. So this was from, I forget, 54 ears of corn. I have this little bit I'm just gonna toss into the fridge. So it's not too shabby at all. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me and processing a whole bunch of corn. There's still a whole nother box on the table, so I might end up making some more corn. I probably won't make any more creamed corn though. It's not something we eat very often at all. I'll have to intentionally incorporate that this year. But I think I have just a little over 12 of these. So that would be like one a month, which I usually don't buy a lot of corn, so that would be more than what we would usually have anyway. But thinking about like making like Mexican street corn and that kind of stuff, I think it would be really tasty with that. And we do tacos pretty often, like most people. And so I might make a little bit more canned corn. I think I will, but not tonight. Tonight, if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll try to can these beans, but they very well might go in the fridge. I should probably can them. We'll see. I still have to do kitchen cleanup and all the things, so I might get them going. It won't take very long. I mean, it would just do it. What? Okay, I should can them, and I will do that. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Go ahead and click that subscribe button if you want to be updated next time I post a new video. Bye, guys.